got another review here. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I just want to point out right out the way, Corey Hawkins killed it. Like he sold it. It made sense why he was on the ship, how they played it up, the whole thing. Liam Cunningham is a forever captain. Every time you see this dude, he's usually playing captain. He just has that regalness about him that it just shines. And what's his name? Malkin and David Malkin. I've convinced myself when it comes to that guy, he can play any role. He gets absorbed in the role, and each character is different. Like his face structure, the way he does stuff, he just embodies a role whenever he plays it, and it's actually quite incredible. Like, I've seen this guy on regular TV, like as a Flash villain, yet he was Polka Dot Man and all these things, and even when you can see him, you don't see him. That's some really good acting right there. So, hands down, credit to that guy as well. So now we're going to just jump into the movie itself. Last Voyage of Demeter, it's, I think, like chapter, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like chapter 7 or 8 of the Dracula. They find the captain's log, and they kind of like go through the story. I thought the first cool thing is that they actually focused on the crew. Dracula was more of a monster, that can wear the flesh of a man kind of thing. And I like that this felt a lot closer to the Dracula from Bram Stoker's in some ways. But the way like he hunted and the whole thing, how they broke down what was going on, was really well done. You got a good sense of who the crew was, and then when things started to pop off, it was nice because it like slowly happened and it started going more and more. They give you a little bit of the ship life. I always enjoy a little bit of ship life, like the knocking thing. I thought that was pretty actually well handled. And on top of even that, just how they put the horror element together, where first off, when the stuff looked practical, it was great. The CG stuff wasn't bad either. And what else they did that I really enjoyed was the fact that he was like a looming threat, and it was claustrophobic, yet the ship was big enough to move around. And I thought that was a nice touch, because it's like, okay, you're stuck because you only have the sea and you have this, and it's like, all right, where's this creature? What's going on? How is she hiding in the ship? You see little things that come up later, and then just on top of that, each person had their own personality, their own thing they brought to the table, which I thought was great. So as you see Corey, like, he's an educated man. So Corey's character, he's trying to figure it out. He's like the doctor. They're trying to unravel this mystery. But you see the transition from Dracula traveling and what's going on. The girl from the trailer, why is she there? Why is this happening? And it like cuts its way through. And I thought that was just golden. And it really resonated. And nobody was safe. Like, Dracula was showing his most vicious, I don't like give a F side, and each time something was happening, you were seeing more, and you got to see a little personality. You got to see it through. I think the movie, all in all, it was great, like how they were getting desperate. Now they had to fight, and they had to do this, and what was going on, and you saw the change in there. And there was even these little things that would happen with Dracula that was cool, as Dracula lore was coming in to it, and they kind of played with that too, and you got to see like these different aspects of what was going on, and it was in a way where you got to see the character of Dracula without having to see the character. I'm talking about specifically his character and what is showed through others and stuff like that. So you got to see these little aspects you don't normally get to see from Dracula. Normally you get to see the aristocrat, you get to see him be all regal and stuff, but this one was him as just a straight up monster, a looming threat. And I thought they handled that really well. I like the girl character they bring in, and as experience, it was a good way to give exposition. You get to see what it is, and Dracula just did not care. And I thought that was awesome. And that's the way Dracula, to me, is at his best, when he doesn't care. Not the lovesick puppy, even though I do enjoy me some lovesick puppy Dracula, because Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman was, and Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves was fire. So I'm not going to sit here and act like it doesn't, but I like seeing him being the monster that he is. The Dracula I like for like Monster Squad. So all in all, I like what the captain had to deal with, and he had his own personal things, and how, just like I said, they showed the different ways how Dracula can influence, can work with stuff, can mess with you, can mess with other things, yeah, even when you're not trying to. And it explains why sometimes people don't think straight when they're dealing with Dracula, like it, and it kind of gives you an idea how Renfield happened and stuff like that. So all in all, I think that this movie was handled beautifully. The way they ended it, they left it open for a sequel. I don't know if they're going to get a sequel, just because the way the box office has been, which kind of sucks, because it's one chapter of Dracula continuing on. And it was me, my one friend, she was visiting, and my other friend and his fiance, and we all were together, and we all loved the movie. We want to see more of this movie and where it goes, and we were speculating how they can introduce like Van Helsing and stuff. And also too, it got to show that Dracula is truly just an evil dude. And they also played up the things toward, and so I would love to see more. So all in all, I would say this movie was definitely a good time. Yeah, I say it's a good time. It's something that I could see, if they would grow it, I could see it getting really good as a franchise, if they do it right. And I would not be opposed to it at all. So that's all I gotta say about that. Like I said, that's just me. I think it's just a really good time, and we all had a really good time watching it on a very nice day. Keep protecting us. You stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real, and I'll see you.